Hey, what's up, YouTube? I was posting, asking for video ideas from some friends of mine on Facebook. A friend of mine wanted me to do a video on prepping for children. I have two children of my own, so I have a little bit of experience doing that, and it's a little different with each child. Some of the things that she asked about was packing and travel needs for children, how to keep them safe and quiet, and also I wanted to cover some of the medical concerns about taking children out into a survival situation or a prepping situation. And again, it depends on how long you're going to be, how long you expect to be gone. You're going to be on the road for 3 to 5 days. Or you're just going to be on the road for a couple hours. Or are you going to be nomadic? Are you going to move around on your own and chase food and whatnot? I broke it down to 3 age groups because after the age of 12, 13 years old, um, those children aren't really children anymore in a survival situation. They're adults, young adults. What you need to consider if you're going to be prepping, if you're going to be a prepper, you have to get the prepper mindset instilled at an early age in order for any of this to really take root and hold. Um, with my children, we go on hikes all the time. We discuss things with them. Excuse me, and feed my habit. We discuss things with them that normally you wouldn't talk to children about. And my children are between the ages of 5 and 10. I'm not going to give you the exact age, but they're still pretty young, and we've been talking to them about things a long time. As far as packing and travel needs, going by age groups, anything up to about 8 years old, those maybe 5 years old, you're going to carry all the stuff for that child. Infant to 5 years old, you're going to be carrying all the stuff for that child, and more than likely that child most of the time if you're on foot. What I suggest is when for the age group infant to 5 years old, consider how much they eat in a day. And if you're going to go, let's say you're prepping for a 4 week stint, consider what they eat in a day, double it, and then store that. Because as children get a little older, even over the course of 4 weeks, that child will, develop the need for more food, or rather may be hungry. And also, it's always a good idea to double up because two is one and one is none, right? So as far as keeping them safe and quiet, from infant to 5, that's not going to happen. Safe, yes. Keeping them safe. Um, just monitor them at all times. If it's just one parent, one child, or one parent, two children, you got a problem because someone has to stay with those children at all times between infant and 5 years old. They're just discovering the world. They're looking around. They're going to taste rocks and reach over for that pretty little pokey plant, and they don't realize that's a cactus, or they don't realize that the little slithery thing over there is a poisonous snake. So that, as far as keeping them safe, that's up to you. Just keep an eyeball on them. Now, as they get a little older, you can let them explore a little bit, but still keep an eye about where they're at and some of the surroundings. For infant to 5, some of the things I said, you know, that you should have at all times is children's Tylenol, children's ibuprofen, and talk to your doctor and get him to give you just a single course of antibiotics, whether it's amoxicillin syrup, which you have to keep at a cool temperature, or if get some tablets, just have them cut down or have them do child dosages because their immune system is still young. Along with their body, they're going to get sick a lot more. Extra soap, cloth diapers. Some child out in the wild, you don't want to keep them clean. You don't want infections to run rampant on them because they're very, very vulnerable. Um, toys is a good way to keep them kind of quiet. Things that'll stimulate their mind. And you can make things out in the wild, that's fine. But while you have it, pretty colors and interesting shapes are all good now. If that child has a favorite teddy bear, take the teddy bear. I don't care if you got to strap it to the outside of your pack. Take the teddy bear for the kid. If that kid feels safe with a teddy bear, that's what you want. Age group 5 to 8, food, clothes, warmth, and toys. They they don't need a hatchet. They don't need they don't need a huge array of tools or anything. Just the basics, and they can't carry very much. From 5 to 8, a small backpack with the day's food, um, some water, maybe one change of clothes, and a couple of toys, or like I said, that one teddy bear. Let them feel important. Um, make it a big deal that, hey, you get to carry your own things. You're responsible for this. Go ahead and instill responsibility into your children at a young age, with these vital things that they need. All right. Now, as far as 8 to 12 goes, 8 to 12 is right around the time that children start to really branch out and get their grips on life. By now, their personality is pretty much set, as far as whether they're going to be adventurous, or they're going to be cautious, or they're just going to be able to throw caution to the wind. At this point, they've already determined that. Food, maybe one or two, like a small book or some type of toy that they like to play with. I don't advise electronics, just because if you're a prepper, you really want to get away from those anyway. You don't want the children to be dependent on their iPad. But just something that engages them, some type of board game or some small travel game. The clothes, this is about the time that you need to start getting them to build up their stamina. So a decent sized pack for 8 to 12 years old, just to get them used to carrying. If you go on family walks, everybody throw in your pack. Grab your walking stick. And after about 7 years old, I'd say, or 6 years old, I'd say a walking stick's a good idea to throw in, because they can personalize it, design it, the way they want to. I let my kids paint their walking sticks and pick things for me to attach to them with string and wire. And a few tools. 8 to 12, some small tools. Start teaching them how to use a pocket knife. Maybe a small hatchet, a tiny small hatchet. Gerber makes a pretty decent one. It's got a rounded blade on it. I don't have it with me, or I'd show you. But just something for them to start learning how to use tools. A couple of links of rope, a fishing kit, fire starting kit. And again, this is the time to start teaching them about fire safety and how to build a fire. Between 5 and 12 years old, that's when you want to teach these children the skills that you want them to have. That's all important. Because once they have those skills, they'll use them on a day-to-day basis. If they go out in the woods and they want to make themselves a cup of tea, or if they go fishing, oh well, let's cook up some of this fish. Cool. Of course, all under adult supervision. After about 13 years old, that's when a kid really starts rebelling against his parents, or not, depending on how you treat your children. I try to treat my children as best as I can and give them as many options as I can. If you don't give them a chance to rebel, they're not going to rebel too hard. And I don't mean being strict and enforceable, because the more pressure you put on a spring, when you finally take just a tad bit of that pressure off, the spring's going to bounce off. And same goes for children. I know I look back at my childhood and I see the same thing. Fortunately, I rebelled in a different way. Let's see. Yeah, I guess 5 years old. That's as far as firearms go and firearm safety. That's the time to start teaching your children about firearm safety. All unloaded, of course. BB gun, maybe a small little .22. Start teaching them how to shoot, teaching them how to be safe, and how to respect a firearm. And I guess that's all as far as the prepping for children goes. Some things that I want to point out is I don't want to say anything about parenting itself, except for teach your children early about safety, about things, learn how to question things in a good way that'll provide them with the most answers in their life. If you don't teach your children how to question things, then they're always going to go along with everything around them. But then again, if you teach them to question things in the wrong way, then they're not going to get any information from that question. They're just going to question and refuse any evidence that's put in front of their eyes. Um, as far as keeping a kid safe and quiet are relative terms when it comes to children. Keep that in mind. Duct tape is a good way. Nah, not really. That's a horrible thing to say, but it's funny. Um, just, teach your children. Take the time. Parent. Be a parent. I say this with the utmost seriousness because of my situation. I'm not going to get into it. I don't have the chance to be a parent right now, but you as a parent, be a parent. Teach them. Teach them the right way. Teach them the right way every time. And when they get bored with something, if your kids are just sitting around bored, saying, Mommy, I'm bored, Daddy, I'm bored, engage them. Engage their mind. As long as you keep a child's mind active, it'll continue growing and it won't hit a stagnant point. That's the big thing that I see with America, is that we let children stagnate. We sit them in front of the TV. We throw an iPod or iPad in their laps and show them, hey, here you go. This is all for you. Have at it. Look at that. It's an electronic babysitter. No. No. I know you had a busy schedule. I mean, everybody's got a busy schedule. You got to work like a dog to make ends meet these days. But take the time to engage your children. Take them fishing. Take them walking in the woods. Go look for arrowheads. Teach them how to make an arrowhead. Learn how to make an arrowhead together. Just simple little things. When you go on a hike, look for blackberries. Show them that there's food to be gathered in the woods. Wild grapes. They make great jelly. Learn these things together. Do these things together, because your children are going to be your most vital asset. Because when you're old and decrepit, they're going to take care of you. And if you show them the love and the understanding and the patience that they deserve as children, then they'll show you the love, patience, and understanding that you deserve as a parent who is maybe out the door. Just whatever you do, take care of your kids. And I'm going to get off of here before I start crying. But anyway, thanks YouTube. Leave me a comment. Subscribe to my page. Like me. Whatever you're going to do. Dislike me. I don't give a damn really. But I would appreciate comments. And if anybody has any ideas, things that they want to hear about, if I've got experience in it, like I said, I'm all about teaching. Just leave me a note and I'll get back to you. I appreciate it, and peace.